Ah yes, this is Kevin. Remember we interviewed Kevin on Blue Monday about the parking. He's the parking control officer. He's not allowed to speak to me today. He's been locked away. I did speak to him today, but not on camera. He's been warned off, so and the helpful guy in the cashier's desk, he's not allowed to speak to me either. So there's been a very high-level clampdown. It's all got to come through official communications now. Well, I took this document in to show Kevin today, which is the parking fine I've received already, very prompt, which appears to come from the town hall, from the parish, even though when I spoke to the parish, they said it was nothing to do with them. As I explained in the little video which follows, it obviously has got a great deal to do with them. It wants to waste my time and their time. Kevin very helpfully said, well, why don't I email them instead of going to see the centenaire? But I shouldn't have to go and do anything, should I? Because it was a completely bogus thing they set up. This parking control officer out there supposedly helping people, and he ran away when I tried to get his help. So this is the rather sad thing. Now the interesting thing about this is, the first thing about this, you can't read it, look. You see, you need a magnifying glass to read what it actually says, because the print is so small. It's absolutely criminally small. I mean, even, I know people have to have a certain amount of eyesight to drive a car, but this is quite diabolical. It's done on blue paper. It's an awful copy. The back of it is much better. They've obviously invested in a different typeface, but that's much better. But the important bits on the front, telling you what it is, what the offence is quite disgraceful. Totally inadequate. The presumably PCO, whatever his number was, 16, he's written on there, post on, driver off, drove off or something. That's presumably me. I drove away. He said, if you don't get back in the car, I'm going to book you. And of course, before I could get back in the car, and I said, I'm getting back in the car, he was already booking me. So this is the sort of process. Anyway, I've made a bit more video today, put that up. The saga continues. It's all a complete waste of everybody's time. And, you know, this is modern government. This is Jersey government as it behaves now at a very basic level. Why do they bother? Well, here we are back at the parking control car park in Sand Street. I've parked my car in there now. As you can see, there's no signs outside warning people that there's a different procedure about paying with credit cards or debit cards. Welcome, it says, 209 spaces. But there's I thought the guy said he was going to put some signs up so that people didn't have to stop. That's where I stopped over there. And of course you can see there's cars parked there today, which are presumably official cars, but they're still parked there. I tried to stop there and I was shooed away by a waving parking control officer. So today, presumably, people are queuing to pay. This is the procedure. These are the machines. Now, what they say you must do is you must drive in here to find out. Well, of course, it's a bit late then. Pay cards can no longer be used. It says, well, those are the old-fashioned pay cards which you use on the street. So, paying for, remember your registration number? And pay on return. Well, obviously that's no longer applying if you're paying by credit or debit card. Again, it's got there, look, multi-storey car park. This is methods to pay. They haven't covered those up. You can help with paying credit or debit cards. They haven't cancelled them. And there's little notices on the machines. That one's died entirely, I suppose. Yeah, this is the notice they've got on the machine, but of course you can't read this on the motor car. Credit and debit cards not possible to repay. Telephone after 8:30 the following morning. Park Smart and Uniticket payments are still being processed, it says. And up further up here, He's got this nice sign here about how are we doing. It says, look, your government is committed to giving you the best possible service every day, everywhere, which even Sand Street car park, I presume. But there we are, speak to us in person. Well, let's have a look, see if we can find Kevin, who I spoke to yesterday. As you see, one of the parking control officers is here. He's standing here. But of course, it's not very helpful. There's a guy there coming in. It's not very helpful. You have to bring your car in and trust. I mean, because there is a lot of public confusion about these parking methods now. When I came yesterday, the guys were parked there. But when I stopped, they made no attempt to get out of the car when I stopped down there, so I had to get out of the car. So they said, well, you can't park there. Well, of course I wasn't parked. I was wanting to speak to them there. And there's nobody there today. There's a guy over there by the machines, which is better than nothing, of course. And I've seen him talking to people. But, you know, you do wonder. So let's go and see if Kevin's about today. Well, Kevin's now locked up for speaking to the public yesterday on camera, so he's not allowed to speak to anybody today. So, and the man, the very helpful guy who was taking the money, because they're now, instead of putting the money in there, he's taking the money here, but he can't take cash. You've got to pay with a card, which you can't use over there, but he's taking the card there. And it's a crazy system, getting even more crazier by the minute. There are, as I said, there are no signs there. There's a guy there giving a parking control officer. What I've got to do now, apparently, I've got to email or go and see the Centenaire, or email the town hall, waste my time, waste their time. Here's my man from yesterday, I think, arriving now. I wonder if he'll speak to me. I don't suppose he will. Town hall yesterday said it's absolutely nothing to do with them. But apparently the story is more complicated than that. These people issue the cards, the fines, because I've now got my parking fine, £100 I think it says. The print is so small, but I'm going to put that up just shortly. The print is so small it's barely difficult to read. But these people issue them, but the town hall administer them. So the town hall is not entirely correct to say that they have no responsibility. In other words, I suggested to the town hall, why don't you put some signs up here to warn people that there is a problem. Anyway, there we are. This is it. There's a couple more parking control officers, helpful parking control officers, going about their helpful way. On behalf of who? The States of Jersey, is it? I don't know. Deputy Lewis, I wonder what he thinks about all this. Does he care? Does he worry? I shouldn't think so. It's funny how they can park there. They suddenly not cars because they can park there. But there we are. Mystery of life.